Have you ever experienced being stuck creatively? Of course you have. Everyone goes through it. In this video, let's talk about 5 cures for your creative rut. So, a creative rut is that experience of being fresh out of ideas. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, you just can't come up with something new to create. And this is, of course, something that is regularly experienced by most, if not all, creatives. There are so many factors surrounding that creative rut. Sometimes you're just really tired, sometimes you're uninspired, sometimes you're overwhelmed, sometimes you're getting too much pressure, and sometimes you're actually just getting lazy. Now, these 5 tips are some that I've learned throughout the years and have actually helped me in overcoming my own experiences of a creative rut. My first tip is that you should first be able to differentiate burnout from lack of inspiration. Of course, lack of inspiration, you're missing that push that actually gets you to start moving and start creating and start bringing out new ideas. However, a burnout is that lack of energy or that lack of desire. When you lack inspiration, you don't necessarily lack the desire to create. It's just that you're not getting that push. But when you are burnt out, you don't even want to lift a finger. It's important that you're able to identify these because only then would you be able to come up with a solution. If you're lacking inspiration, then maybe it's the time where you should stop and just try to consume things wherein you can get inspiration. Maybe you read a book, watch a video, a movie, a documentary, or simply browse content from people who inspire you. On the other hand, if you're burnt out, then you have to identify where it's coming from. Are you burnt out because you're physically tired? Are you emotionally tired? Are you unhappy with what you're doing? Of course, the solution will come from you, but it is important that you're able to identify where it is coming from. When I'm dealing with exhaustion, one favorite thing I like to do is just go for a walk or maybe even a drive, wherein I'm doing things mechanically. When you're doing things mechanically, you're able to clear your head because you're not really so focused on the movement, but at the same time, your brain is not pressured to think so much. Whenever I do this, I feel as if I'm flushing out all the clutter in my head and I'm making room for new ideas. My second point is that you should also be able to differentiate getting so much pressure from just simply procrastinating. If you're getting so much pressure, this means that you're actually working towards a certain deadline. You're not necessarily pressuring yourself to do something, it's just that you really have to get things done. As compared to procrastination, you might actually have a lot of time in your hands. It's just that you're giving yourself pressure even if you don't really need to pressure yourself or you have a bit of time to work with. For example, I myself have had this idea about this video, but it took me a few days to shoot it simply because I wasn't following any certain deadline or any time frame. But I wanted to get things done and to create content continually, which is why I was procrastinating instead of actually dealing with pressure. Now, the third tip, and this is actually very important, is always listen to your body. What do I mean by listening to your body? Of course, when you are very tired, your body is already telling you to stop and rest. And when your body is asking for some rest, as much as you can, give it some rest. Remember that a tired, an exhausted body is the biggest distraction you can ever get. You might be getting back pain, some headaches, or you're falling asleep while you're working. Give it a bit of time. Set some time for your rest. Give yourself a few minutes, a few hours if you can, just so you can get some relaxation and just refresh your body just a bit. By what I understand from the human body, you either give it the rest it is asking for, or later on it will demand the rest and you won't be able to do anything about it. The good thing about the first one is that you have control of the time. As compared to the second one, you might not even have the energy or you might not be healthy anymore to actually set your own pace. Now, the fourth thing that you have to understand about your creative rut is that sometimes it comes from oversaturation. You're just getting real tired of the same thing over and over again. I can tell you this, I hate routine things. I love being able to jump from one challenge to another. I solve one problem, I get satisfaction out of it, then I move to the other. As compared to doing the same stuff over and over again, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get bored, and ultimately you're gonna run out of ideas because you've told your brain and your creativity to tone down. It's important to identify when you're getting oversaturated, and the only cure for this is to seek new inspiration. At the same time, you can also seek new challenges, try new things, try new approaches. If you constantly challenge yourself, you're gonna get satisfaction out of that challenge, out of overcoming that challenge, and you're gonna get even more inspired to do more. And the last cure for your creative rut is to go back to your core. Go back to your main reasons why you do what you do and why you love what you do. Of course, if you don't love what you do, then that's a whole nother topic. This is why it's important that you're doing something that you're really passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're really not going to be able to find constant inspiration to keep doing it. But if what you're doing actually stimulates you, what you're doing challenges you, when what you're doing inspires you to go further, you're never ever going to hit a blank wall permanently. There will be some roadblocks and bumps along the way, but you will be able to overcome them. For as long as the reasons why you do what you do and love what you do are deeply rooted, this means that they are not superficial. You're not just after the money or the fame or whatever. When you're actually getting satisfaction from the process and the rewards of creating and not the secondary benefits that come after, you get the satisfaction regardless of how your audience reacts. You get the satisfaction regardless of how much you get paid or how many more new subscribers or followers you get. When it's the process you enjoy instead of merely the benefits that come afterwards, you're gonna keep doing it even through the ups and downs. And there we go. I'm quite certain you've noticed that I call these cures to your creative rut, but each one of these cures require a bit of introspection and a bit of reflection from yourself. You need to start thinking. You need to, at the very least, observe yourself and find your own rhythm to be able to cure your creative rut. Some people actually refer to the creative rut as being out of the rhythm, and I totally agree. It's important to examine at which part of the creative cycle are you in. For one, I believe that the cycle for every creative is pretty much like breathing in and breathing out. Perhaps that's why we call it inspiration. The cycle starts when we get inspired because we take in a lot of ideas, a lot of inspiration, and later on, when we get enough inspiration, we're able to start doing something and start creating for ourselves, and ultimately, later on, create some inspiring work for others. It's a matter of breathing in and taking in the ideas and the inspiration, then later on, turning it into something that other people can consume and other people can get inspiration from. Do you agree with that? In any case, if you have any questions or if you have any other tips that you want to share, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. And if you've made it this far into the video, I want to tell you that I appreciate the fact that you are watching. Of course, my name is Nicco Valenzuela. I am a landscape and architectural photographer and a content creator. And this channel mainly talks about landscape photography, but I like to mix a few motivational stuff here and there. If you're into that, then please feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. And if you really like this video, I would love it if you can share it as well. In any case, thank you for watching.